Hi guys, hope you're doing well. It's another walk and talk with me. So I noticed that you like the format. I have a lot of feedback messages when I post this video, so I'm happy to see that's something you also like. Personally, like I said, I think a lot about ninth age topics, so I'm always happy to share. And since I'm walking a lot, I always have time to do this type of stuff, so it's like a perfect combination for me. It's also very easy to upload because just a one shot recorded, directly uploaded in YouTube, and that's done. So it's easy for me to produce this type of content, and for you it's like a bit bonus content, a bit more than battle report. You get to know me better, and yeah, we get to talk about different topics related to the ninth age, which we always like to do. So I'm happy to get that going and to see the positive comment on that type of comment. I forgot to mention last time I talked as an introduction a bit about the things that I was talking, that I was walking a lot, and the steps and the purpose of it. And I forgot to make maybe a little advice to the people. Maybe there might be some of you who are feel themselves currently out of shape, because I think the main goal of sport is feeling well, be healthy, but yeah, main thing, feel well inside your body, and yeah, that's I think something quite important. Take care of your body and feel well. And there might be some of you who don't do sport at all, who feel not so good, who maybe feel that they are a bit out of shape or overweight, and they would like to change something. The main advice I would give you related to the fact that you could do walking is, walking I think is the easiest way for me to lose weight. I think that would be my main advice, because I think the motivation that you need to really start doing a lot of sport, that's one thing. Sure, it's going to help, you're going to burn some calories, but walking is easy to implement, and overall on the total of the week, mathematically speaking, you're going to burn more. I have in my home gym at home, I should do one time I should record for my home gym to show you the home gym that I have, looking pretty cool, and I have some educational decoration inside the gym, and one of them is about the total daily expenditure. If you want to have a look at it, you should easily find the chart online. But basically what it shows is that the non-exercise expenditure that you have, it's the one that's burning the most. And why? Because doing an extra amount of step every day during the whole week might burn more calories on the total of the week in comparison to just doing 1-2 times sport per week. Hello. And I think people, generally speaking, have tendency to overestimate or they have the feeling that they burn a lot when they do sport, but actually it doesn't burn that much. Doing sport, like for example in a gym, you're not burning that much. It might be like 200 calories, which is something you can easily achieve by moving your step from 4,000 to 10,000 per day. In one day you might achieve the same. So basically over the full week, if you change your amount of step drastically from, for example, 4,000 to 10,000, you might easily achieve much more than you would achieve in terms of burning calories by 2 hard hour session of sport. So yeah, that's one thing. I think definitely just doing walking, you don't necessarily need to start sport intensively. Just doing some walking, you might just end up losing weight, but you need to stick to it. You need to stick to it, so you should buy yourself, I have a smartwatch to track that, and I think it's good. Then you can track every activity that you're doing, and it's the easiest way to do it and to follow it. So yeah, I think without even starting to talk about diet, eating and so on, just starting that, I think should be your starting point towards losing weight. So just an advice, if some of the viewers want to change, I think that could be something easy to implement. And walking, you don't feel tired, it's easy to implement, doesn't require too much motivation, just need to walk. So that can be at home with a walking pad, that can be outside, you can combine both like I do. It's easy to do, and you might achieve a lot just with that. Anyway, that was for the intro. Topic I wanted to bring today is the following. I found even a very catchy title for it. Why has occultism lost his flavor? And why do I speak about flavor? Because I think it's a word that applies pretty well to magic. Because magic is also a bit about flavor. And that's something they have been improving in the last version of the game, version 2.0 from this year. They have been able to improve the flavor by reducing, for example, the two spells that were very similar. We can take alchemy and evocation as example. They remove the spell that were 2 times the same. Okay, while I was talking about doing one shot and easy to put in YouTube, my wife just called me, so I had to stop the video, and now I will need to do some kind of editing before uploading. No, not too bad. It's easy to do. Anyway, yeah, what I wanted to say is basically occultism. It's a lore that people don't play so much nowadays. Lost a bit of its purpose. I think more than flavor, maybe its purpose. I think that's the main word. Because what was our thinking, reflecting a bit about version 2.0, why were we playing occultism? And myself included, I played quite a lot occultism. I played back in the day the Ashuruk mage inside the Bastion unit, who was master occultism. I loved it. And basically it was around 3 spells. If you go back to it, we had the toxic breath weapon, we had Mark for Doom, so like the cannonball, and we had Gravecoal, the good old Gravecoal, who had strength 6 within 12 inches. And basically something in common of those spells were the ability to manage big targets. And if you compare it to now, the damage spell you have Pentagram, strength 5, you have Devouring Dark, strength 5, 3x2, so doesn't do anything to single model. And then you have Gravecoal, 8 hits, strength 5. But basically, if you compare to what you got before, you could cast those 3 spells, your opponent could dispel 1, you get 2. Dangerous spell for any type of single model. Let's take an Exalted Herald in the open. It couldn't really take a strength 6 Gravecoal or Mark for Doom. Or even the Toxic Breath might be dangerous for him. And now what we have is at best 8 hits, strength 5. Wounding on 4+, it's still got an armor save, still got a ward save. You can check the odds, not going to achieve much with that. So basically, occultism for me lost his ability to be threatening for single model, especially for single model. Speak about monsters and so on. And that was for me something very distinguishing in terms of flavor for occultism, because if you just want to do damage on units, yeah, you have Pyro, you have you have Ice and Fire, that type of spell that can do more on big unit because they have a lot of hits and stuff. So yeah, I think occultism damage wise has lost its flavor. The other spell remain pretty much the same. You have the ward save, you have the -1 weapon skill, and even the Umbral Majesty, their flavor, I think power level wise are totally okay. But I think we lost something on the damage side of the lore. And now the main question is how to change it to make it a bit more like it was before, achieving a special purpose, and to make you choose it for its ability to manage bigger targets. Something for me that could be an option is to change slightly the way some spells are designed. For example, for the Gravecoal, you could make that the sacrifice allow you either to get +1 to wound or +6 range. And then basically you have a spell that can do virtually strength 5 +1 to wound AP2 on 12 inch, or that can do 18 inch but with strength 5 AP2. I think that would be quite good to change a little the spell, make it a bit more powerful and a bit better against some targets. So I think that would be my first idea. I'm a bit sad that we lost Mark for Doom. I understand the fact that we wanted to remove the breath weapon toxic was quite good, but maybe Mark for Doom could be back. I think there was nothing wrong with that spell, and it brought something special inside the lore that we are missing. I'm not too fan of the current design of Pentagram, who can be either very powerful against some target or very weak against some others, so it has sometimes a use but sometimes not at all. So I don't like it much, the way it is at the moment. Before you had the D6 and then you can choose area instead. But I'm not a big fan of the way it is going at the moment. So I wouldn't be against replacing pentagram for the old Mark for Doom. And then we are back with a lore that does something to single model again. So I think, yeah, that's what's missing, something distinguishing Occultism from other spells in terms of damage. I think this lore should be the main lore to deal with bigger target. You have this fact that, okay, it has shorter range, which is already a downside, but in exchange for the shorter range, you should get more damage. And this sense of short range, high damage, it's what has been missing, in my opinion. So that's something I'm missing at the moment with Occultism, and I hope could change. I don't know what's the scope of 3.05 update. I heard about pricing team leading that, so I don't know what's possible in terms of design for the season pack and for the Arcane Compendium. That might be too big of an ask. We have seen them in 3.04. They've been trying to change slightly things with casting value, but minimal changes in Arcane Compendium. I'm not sure they would be that adventurous to try really to change a lore that way. So we might have another season with Occultism staying that way. Let's be honest, let's face it. I don't see it being played much more if it stays like that, because like I said, I think it's lost its purpose, basically. And you have no reason to really pick it instead of another lore who is probably producing more. So yeah, that's the main thing that I see. Maybe I'm asking too much of the lore. Maybe some people are happy with it, but I haven't seen it playing that much. Haven't seen so many Master Occultism, despite the fact that I think Umbral Majesty is cool. We have some good spells, they try to boost the lore. But I think what's missing is definitely this aspect of higher damage with a shorter range. And for example, and I forgot to mention, but the Mark for Doom I would put back, if I recall correctly, before it was 24 inch, I would put it back with 18 inch and sacrifice to 24. I think that would be something like that. It should be stayed shorter range and higher range with sacrifice, but you should get a healthy mix between 12 inch, 18 inch base version from the spell, and then boosting should allow you to get a bit more, but not more than 24, no matter what. So yeah, we will see. Just an idea that I had about this lore that I love. To be honest, it's one of my favorite, but I don't see really much plays because, yeah, like I said, I think it's lacking a clear purpose. If you're taking it, it's to do what? In terms of damage, you won't achieve that much. You really, first of all, you need a very mobile caster to take advantage from the third damage spell, which is Pentagram. And yeah, that's already a particular setup that not everybody is having. So first you need that very mobile caster that can be Master Occultism, and he's strong enough to go in the open alone, which is already something hard to achieve. And apart from that, you have Gravecrawl and Devouring Dark, which Devouring Dark, like I said, not doing anything to single model. So then you playing with a Master Occultist just for Gravecrawl feels a bit lackluster at the moment for the price you pay and what you're getting for that price. So I hope something will be done about it. I gave an ID. Maybe you have another ID. Don't hesitate to submit your ID in the comment. As always, I like to exchange, talk about it. It's the main idea of those little podcasts. So don't hesitate to drop your ID in comments and let's talk about it. And maybe we bring some fresh ideas for staff members. By the way, I don't know exactly if staff members are listening to this type of videos, if from time to time I can maybe bring some interesting idea or not. I would be curious also to get sometimes some feedback from them. For example, here about the scope, I think we all would like to know more about the scope of the upcoming update. Is it just, and maybe I will try to get some infos on that, and maybe I can talk to you about it. But yeah, I would be glad as a player, not as a content producer, but just as a player, I would be glad to know what's the purpose. And here I can show you a bit the background. It's looking quite cool. It's called the swamps of my village, basically. So it's swamps. And yeah, it's quite cool here in the spring, feeling cool with the nice weather. But yeah, I would be happy to know what's the scope exactly, what should we expect, how big is the magnitude of the changes. I would like to know that. Yeah, I would be very happy to know. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. Maybe I have a long walk today, so maybe I will continue later with something different. So I have to make a third part in this video, basically because I had the occasion to talk with some staff member, and I thanked them for their explanation. Maybe I've not been very carefully reading what has been published by the staff, but actually it was pretty clear. I'm probably not the only one who misunderstood slightly what will be the scope of the final update of this year, which is 3.05, coming up in April. We don't have that date yet, but it's going to be April. The scope, which has been published, which has been communicated, is the following: point changes on army books. That's the scope, driven by the pricing team, as I understood. And apart from that, we have no change in Arcane Compendium. So there is no point for me to do exactly the video that I just did on judging occultism and all that stuff. I think this will be relevant again in 9 months towards the end of the year, when we will be going towards the next update. Then we can talk again about that. And the same goes for Season Pack 2. So no change on primary, secondary. So again, there is no point for me to talk that much about that. So I will try to refocus and do a next video, which I really wanted to do, on the external balance of the game between the armies and what to expect for 3.05. I think that will be my next topic that I really would like to cover. I need a little bit preparation for that, but I just want to give my view on that. And I think that should be the main focus. I like to focus on things that are going to be changed, and I think it makes no sense for me to talk too much about stuff that I don't like that much and are not going to be changed in the next 9 months. So I just wanted to make that clear. I hope this clarifies as well for you the situation. What is to expect in April, again, is change in terms of points. So we have basically external and internal balance of army books, but the rest, core rules, will not be changed. We are going to have some clarification on wordings and stuff, but no big change here, only change in terms of points. Then we know exactly what to expect. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and talk to you soon on the channel. Goodbye, take care.